Peace. This is God I Seer, man. Listen, have you noticed the amount of attention that the mainstream New Age community and, organizations like NASA and, you know, Google and all of these organizations have been getting for their perceived level of information or, you know, their knowledge on things such as quantum physics and spirituality, when in fact the things that they're showing you are not even valid in most cases. Let me explain, man. I said this in a previous video, but I want to reiterate this again. For example, they have never been to Mars. They have never been to the moon. They have never traveled to any other planet or plane of existence outside of 3D Earth. I'm going to say that again. They have never, and when I say they, I am speaking on NASA. I am speaking on these European organizations who claim to have made such breakthroughs in technology and quantum science, quantum physics, metaphysics, and spirituality. Like they're discovering so many different things. Every other day you see an article about NASA discovering some new planet, or they discovered that life exists on Mars, or they discovered an Earth-like planet so many miles away. And all of this talk about these things that they claim that they are discovering, when in fact they have not discovered anything besides the fact that they don't have the component of neuromelanin, nor do they have the DNA or the genetic connection to the source, the primal source that created all things, in order for them to even make these type of discoveries. Because listen, when they talk about going to outer space, what exactly are they saying? Because, again, look at the word planet. The word planet, if you take away the T, you have the word plane. What is a plane? A plane is another name for another level of existence. Or you could call it more so another name for a dimension. The earth plane, the astral plane. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual plane. These are different planes of existence. The mental plane. And so planets are planes of existence. How do you shift to another plane? Can you get into a physical spaceship and actually go to these places? No, you can't. You do, however, have a spaceship. That spaceship is called your Merkaba or your Makaba, which is another name for your light body or your light vehicle. Your Makaba is activated once you are able to go through a certain level of transformation to activate it. And whenever you activate it, and this is done energetically and spiritually, this has nothing to do with you getting into a spaceship, has nothing to do with Elon Musk sending something into outer space. It's cap. I wanna reiterate something, man. Sometimes we look at all of these people and these organizations as if they're discovering something new, when in fact, when you know who you are, where you come from, and that you have the energy of your ancient ancestors in your DNA who actually traveled the galaxies. They've done this. We've done this thousands of times over. Been here for hundreds of thousands of years, eons upon eons. We've been traveling these galaxies. We've been traveling the Milky Way galaxy. We've traveled back and forth from the Sirius star constellation and star system. We've been traveling throughout these different, portals. You know what I'm saying? Because time doesn't even exist. We've been doing this. When you look at a pyramid, the way it's built, you have a pyramid built on top, and there's usually a pyramid directly up under that pyramid, facing downward. As above, so below. The pyramids that you see are like teleportation temples, for lack of a better term. This is a reason why you see them perfectly positioned in a way that aligns with the stars. You know, this is ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom. I give thanks to the ascended masters that I'm able to channel directly from, because I'm from that lineage. And to those of you who are from that lineage of the source, the divine source, coming out of that triple black darkness that created all, you have to tap into your technology within. Do not get caught up in all of this foolery that you see, because a lot of this shit is only distractions. We get into, I think a lot of times, yeah, it's exciting to learn about new things, and I'm always learning. But is there really anything new under the sun? Because think about it, you know, when you get into all of this new age information, you got a lot of people talking about there's this here on Mars, there's this there, this is all of these things about, you know, oh, what we just found out about the light, and you getting a lot of your information from European scholars who don't really have a connection or don't have the DNA to actually, access that level of consciousness for that information. They waiting to see what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm talking like this is not me speaking from a place of, you know, um, this is not me speaking from a place of superiority in any way when it comes to physicality. However, genetically speaking, we have to put things into perspective. We all are not actually the same genetically, DNA wise, you know. And that's not to say that, it matters in terms of what your physical appearance is as to what you can tap into, but it does matter what your DNA and genetics are connected to. So when you look at most European metaphysicians and spiritualists, and when you look at, organizations like NASA, and you look at these organizations such as your CIA, and, when they start putting out statements such as, oh, parallel universes exist. Really? You think? Like, why do it feel like you have to wait? Why do some of you feel like you have to wait for validation from someone like the CIA to say parallel universes exist when we already know this? I was sitting down recently talking to some of my elders who's been, tapping into this information for a very, very long time. And some of the things that they speak on and some of the things that we're able to collaborate on are just very powerful, and they never had to go to, you think they waiting on NASA to give them information? No, because my ancient ancestors have been passing this information down genetically, eon after eon after eon. The information exists within us, you know, the gods, the embodiment of God, the embodiment of the creator. You know what I'm saying? You have that neuromelanin. You know what I'm saying? That actually is what fuels your spaceship. So let me go back and reiterate. When I was talking about the Merkaba or the Macabre, also known as your light body, that is your vehicle. And so when you go to sleep at night, you know that you are able to travel. The body shuts down. The body goes through a death at night. This is why when you arise, they say, what? Good morning. You're mourning the death that you went through. You die every night and you're born again every time you rise, just like the sun. The sun dies every night and it's reborn again every day. You know what I'm saying? Ra dies and Ra is reborn. So when you sleep at night, although your body is sleeping, your spirit has the ability to travel to different places, different spaces, different planes of existence, traveling through the confinements and beyond the confinements of space and time. So when you talk about going to these different planets, I will have this conversation with anyone who wants to have it. And again, we're tapping into high frequencies, high vibrational energy. This is ancient. You know what I'm saying? You can try to dress it up and make it seem like it's something new. We're doing these things. We're making, like, man, these people ain't discovering nothing that my ancient ancestors didn't already know. We've been doing this shit too long. And so, a lot of us who are, melanated people, or, people who are, again, melanated. And when I say melanated, I mean melanated as in melanated. You know what I'm saying? Who has the DNA, if your DNA is traced back to those ancient lineages, I'm talking to you specifically. You got to be mindful about feeling like you got to get your information from a group of people who don't know more than you know. You know it, you just don't know that you know it because you've been so bombarded with a lot of external information. You know what I'm saying? So the epigenetic memory is passed down generation after generation after generation. And it gets lost and it gets diluted when you continue to have a group of people going through the same amount of programming each lifetime. You start to dilute the information and you lose it, but you can tap back in and regain access to that. It's all in you. So again, like I said, they're not traveling anywhere. They want to travel, but they know they don't have what it takes. If you want to know, I think the movie was what was the name of that movie? I don't know if it was Area 51, where the alien was trying to go back home, and he kept saying he couldn't power his spaceship unless he found this black substance. I don't think that was Area 51. It may have been another movie. It could have been Area 51, but I'm saying all of that to say that black substance is representational of what we call melanin. And it's not just about skin color. It's not about color. And again, I work with people who are different, who come from everywhere all over the world. I talk to different people and we connect beautifully. So this has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? But we got to put things into perspective. I know plenty of people who are tapped in from different parts of the world and different backgrounds and all of that. And you know what I'm saying? That we can connect. But I'm specifically talking to those right now, who are more melanated. You need to be more mindful of the information that you take in. You already have that information encoded in you. You just have to awaken it. You know what I'm saying? So again, going back to them going and traveling to these different places, you can't go to a plane of existence using a physical spaceship. Your Merkaba or your Merkaba is your light body. That's your vehicle. When you go to sleep at night, you can travel outside of the body. You can project. This is how you go see these planes and these planets of existence. And you know, I know this. It's like it's a very profound experience. Just speaking from experience. The first time that I was able to experience going to Mars. You know, um, yes, I was literally flying. Yes, I was literally flying, and I experienced that plane of existence. Just through projecting. Was able to project outside of the body. You know what I'm saying? And I done this some years ago. And you know, you can do these things if you're not already doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you don't need a physical vehicle to get to these planes of existence. You can't even go there that way. You know what I'm saying? Because these are different levels of consciousness. You know, there's nothing out there. It's all in you. And so, again, I want to reiterate, you have to, it's time to awaken that ancient DNA within you. When they keep talking about discovering something new, we just discovered this or discovered that. What can they possibly discover that has not already been discovered? That's like Christopher Columbus saying he discovered America when America was already America before he got there. You know what I'm saying? There were already Native Americans there who were already there, but you came and said you discovered it. How the hell can you discover something when someone was already there before you got there? These are the same people that work in your organization, such as your CIAs and your NASAs and these different organizations. These people have not discovered anything. They're just discovering things that our ancestors already knew. And when they say they discovering it, it's just that they are trying to figure out ways to tap into things that they can't tap into because they trying to do it in a way that's using technology when technology can't get you but so far when you're talking about going to different dimensions, different planes of existence. You know what I'm saying? The neuromelanin, the DNA, how many, the activating the 12 strand DNA. That's something that they've yet to be able to do, you know? And a lot of us here are doing that. And this is how you tap into that ancient knowledge, that ancient wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. You got to understand. Everything goes in a circle, in a cycle. So there's nothing new. The things that are new are actually ancient. When you look at the ancient Kemetic dynasties, when you look at the pyramids of the Americas, the pyramids of Kemet, when you look at these structures, are you really looking at something from the ancient past, or are you looking at something from the future? Because our ancestors, the ancient ones, are time travelers. So you have to ask that question. Are we discovering something, or are we just rediscovering what has already been given to us? And so be mindful of, it's going to be so much trickery pulled out here in this next year, because mind you, the calendar is off. It's not even accurate, first of all. How can it even be accurate when you're dealing with a 12-month cycle when there's actually 13 signs in the zodiac? You know what I'm saying? How can this shit even be accurate? The calendar is not accurate, but let's just go with the fiscal calendar because this is what the collective believes. So when you look at the calendar and we're going into 2025 so-called, this is a non-fiscal year. 9 being the number of completion. 9 being the number of completion. Everything is coming to an end as the new age, the new energy is coming in. So you're going to see them try to come out with all kind of trickery to fool you, especially through AI. So be mindful of the information that you take in. It's going to be a lot of things. This is why it's important for you to go back in. This is when it's important for you to remember the information that the ancient ones left for you. Because that technology that they have, the ancient ones, our ancestors, my ancestors, maybe your ancestors, depending on who you are. That technology right there is one that cannot be duplicated. It is unmatched. You know what I'm saying? And it don't come with a bunch of buttons and shit on it to make it look like it's some new age cool shit. But it is some cool shit when you tap into it though. Imagine being able to do certain things like bend wind and shit, That ability exists. Imagine being able to project outside of the body and go anywhere you choose. And again, they like to call it remote viewing, but remote viewing is only just, to me, remote viewing is limited to viewing, on the earth plane. That's only one level. I'm talking about traveling beyond the earth plane while outside of the body. Yes, these things are real, and those who are on that frequency to do so are doing so. There's ways to tap into ancient information without having to go through a third party source who's giving you shit that ain't even accurate in order to throw you off course, because they don't want you to tap into your ancient technology. They don't want you to tap into that ancient knowledge, that ancient wisdom that your ancestors left for you. They don't want you to tap into that. They want you to use their way. And while you using their way, they trying to figure out how they can get what you got. How can they tap into that source energy? You know what I'm saying? That primal energy, that chaotic energy, that chaos. You know what I'm saying? That triple black darkness. They don't know. Let's be honest. They don't know, and they're going about it the wrong way. And again, when I say they, I'm just talking about these again, these shadow governments, these secrets, these not so secret societies, and these European societies, and these people are not really they don't have your best interest. So why would you rely on them to give you any, accurate information? Anytime they put out any statement, you got to know that it's some bullshit behind it. It's some bullshit behind it. So when you unplug from all of the technology, and when you go within and you start being quiet, being silent, you know what I'm saying? You'll start to hear the voice of your ancestors speak to you, and they will tell you everything that you need to know about what is going on right now on this planet. I don't have to watch the news. I don't have to hop on social media. I do get on social media from time to time, but I don't get on there to necessarily just scroll and watch everything. But I do tap into certain forums from time to time, but I don't have to do that. I can take, you know, weeks, days, months. I don't watch television. I don't have to go and get anything from anything external. All I have to do is be still, be silent, and tap in, you know. And if you want to take it a step further, call them. Your ancestors are just a call away. And when I talk about ancestors, there's different levels to ancestors. You have ancestors that are loved ones who had just passed on. Those are one level of ancestors, but they will eventually rise. They are rising even after they leave this plane of existence. But I'm specifically talking about the ancestors who are what we call ascended masters. I'm talking about the ancient ancestors. I'm talking about the ones who left information for you going back thousands, thousands upon thousands of years ago. Ancient knowledge, untampered with information, unfiltered information that has been passed down to you in your DNA, but was lost due to the programming that has been placed on your bloodline. Because once they started giving you and feeding you certain foods, once they start pumping you full of things such as fluoride to shut down your pineal gland, your first eye, you were unable to tap into that information that is in you. They know exactly what they're doing when they do these things. They know exactly what they're doing when they spray certain chemicals in the air to mess with your cerebral cortex. They know exactly what they're doing when they do these things. You know what I'm saying? When they send out these ELFs, these extra low frequencies, when they place these towers in these predominantly melanated neighborhoods to send out these frequency waves, this is to keep you suppressed from actually tapping into that ancient DNA that's in you so that you can raise to a frequency that will actually shift all of this shit. The technology in you will shift everything here. So stop worrying about what they doing. Oh, here they come again with this. These people have nothing new that they can do. They're going to try to continue to throw out everything at you, but it's going to depend on your level of consciousness whether it affects you, what you perceive to be your reality. So again, when you sit down, you be still, you call on these ancestors, going back to what I said, the ascended masters, the ancient ones. You know, they will come to you and give you information, and they will show you exactly what technology you need to be tapping into. And it ain't that shit they giving you. Because that technology, while you might think it look cool, you ain't seen cool until you tapped into this ancient technology that's really way more advanced than what they showing you. You know what I'm saying? The technology that they creating is really being created to try to mimic the ancient technology that is already within you. You understand? So, again, You know, focus on you, focus inward, and tap into that ancient technology. Don't forget, it is important. Do not forget and lose your sense of self with this new age spirituality. New age, new age. Come on, man. Yeah, we going into a new age, but the spirituality and the ancient practices are not new. There's nothing new under the sun. This is just a resurgence of it. So it's important for you to not lose the connection to source and the connection to your ancient lineages, the ascended masters and the ancestors who have been passing down this ancient wisdom and who continues to do so straight from the cosmos to you. Tap into that. It's going to be very important that you do it now. And this is how you stay centered. There's going to be a day coming up real soon where all the planets, for the first time in a long time, are going to align perfectly. This is coming up real soon. I forget the date. I think it's